The Arabs called it Algarve, the West. This sun-kissed region in the south of Portugal, at the very edge of the European continent, is a unique blend of Atlantic ruggedness and blissful Mediterranean climate. Every year, millions of people flock to its golden beaches and golf courses, making the Algarve one of Europe's most popular holiday destinations. Most come here to relax and enjoy the wild beauty of this jagged coastline, rather than to discover the cultural heritage of the place. To discover the traces of the region's past and its true character, you have to look past its modern and often hyper-polished facade. Do that, and you will find that the cities and towns of the Algarve retain a distinct North African feel, a reminder that this region was under Arab rule for over 500 years. As we walk down the narrow streets of Albufeira and Loulé, my mind travels to the whitewashed kasbahs of Morocco and Tunisia. Replace the bell towers with minarets, and you could be forgiven for thinking you have landed somewhere in northern Africa. Nowhere is the influence of the Arabs more evident than in Silves, the ancient Moorish capital of these parts. It was known as Shilb back then, and, as its majestic castle shows, it was second only to Cordoba in importance and wealth. My favorite town in the Algarve is by far Lagos, with its whitewashed buildings and picturesque streets. It is pure eye candy, especially if you're a lover of Portuguese tiles like me. Azulejo tiles are a constant presence in Portugal, and the Algarve is no exception. I maybe had higher expectations for Faro, the region's capital, where there just isn't a ton to do. Even so, a stroll around the old town is absolutely recommended. If you're going to do one thing here, make it the Igreja do Carmo. Its Baroque interior is impressive and a little bit too much, but the real reason people come here is the Bones Chapel. Okay, it is super creepy, but it isn't every day that you see a chapel entirely covered in the skulls and bones of over 1,000 monks arranged in geometrical patterns. The Algarve boasts over 100 incredible beaches and a stunning coastline, and this is the real draw of the place. Impressive limestone cliffs, rock formations and caves make this region a paradise for nature lovers. There are also excellent opportunities for dolphin watching up and down the coast. Our first encounter with the Algarve's natural wonders is Ponta da Piedade. This barren headland is simply jaw-dropping. To enjoy the views from above, you can walk along the scenic path skirting the cliff tops. From the trail, long, winding staircases lead you to the many beaches and coves of the area, like Praia do Camilo. You will need good legs to walk down to the beaches and then back up, but the effort is well worth it. A boat tour of Punta da Piedade is a must, to see the place from a different perspective and enter the many caves dotting it. The only downside here, which is the same for the whole of the Algarve, is the huge number of people. In search of a quieter, more contemplative experience, we drive west to Cabo São Vicente, famous for its lighthouse. As we approach the cape, the landscape changes drastically, and so does the temperature, which drops from 32 to 17 degrees in less than half an hour, courtesy of the ocean. On the way to the lighthouse, we stop at the beautiful Fortaleza do Beliche, a fortress overlooking the ocean and offering mind-blowing views. We spend a few minutes watching the beautiful patterns drawn by the wind on the water surface. By the lighthouse, the fog rolls in from the Atlantic and the wind furiously barrels down on us, making it difficult to stand and almost impossible to film. Still, I'm fascinated by remote capes and lighthouses, so for me this is like a playground. Around half an hour later, we catch an achingly beautiful sunset at Praia do Túnel by the Sagres fortress. Another highlight of our trip is the Algar Seco near Carvoeiro. Here, we get a sense of the eroding power of wind and water. Over millennia, they have slowly but surely chipped away at the rock and created this surreal landscape of caves and arches. If you're a sea lover, you will enjoy exploring every corner of this natural wonder, especially in the warm, late afternoon light. But when it comes to caves and natural beauty, the crown jewel of the Algarve is the superlative Benagil, a gigantic grotto that can only be reached from the water, with a large hole on the ceiling. In recent years, this spectacular cave, one of the thousands dotting this shoreline, has turned into one of the most popular sites in Portugal. Of course, with Instagram fame also came the swarms of tourists. And unless you come here first thing in the morning, you will have to share the place with a lot of people. To reach the cave, I suggest you rent a kayak in a nearby beach. Having had problems finding parking near the overcrowded Praia do Benagil, we decide to rent our kayak in Praia da Albandeira, a couple of kilometers to the east. From there, we reach Benagil rowing for around half an hour each way, and the views along the way are awesome. Albandeira is just perfect. It is less crowded than other beaches, it has an incredible natural arch, and the views from the cliff tops behind it are to die for. As far as Southern Europe goes, the Algarve is quite unique. Relentlessly beaten down by the ocean's wind and rough waters, its coastline has little in common with the Mediterranean shores I'm used to. Come to think of it, in this dramatic scenery, one could find reflected the character of the Portuguese. Moody and sullen at first sight, warm and hospitable on closer inspection.